Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another cool arcade game machine for you this evening. Now this is a really kind of strange one. If you don't like the crane machines, you won't like this video, so turn it off now, giving you fair warning, which you should have had by the title of the video. But this is a really strange crane that we had traded in. It's I think it's like a Chinese made kind of cheapo crane claw machine that I think is probably about 15 years old, but I'm not positive. It says Treasure Box by Treasure Chest is the name of it. I have no clue what that is, what specific company would have made it. And also worth pointing out is that it's a smaller machine, and also it's sitting on a pedestal. So this is the entire machine right here. This purple part on the bottom is just some kind of pedestal that they made for it. So I don't know if this thing was made to sit on counters or hang on the wall or what. I say that because it has these strange hooks on the back. I don't know what those are from. I know in Japan they have pachinko parlors where they have pachinko machines mounted in the wall, and you know, you can sit in front of them and stuff. So I'm wondering if over there they have certain areas that have these too, and they're somehow mounted in a wall or some kind of structure. Another interesting thing is that there's this door on the top that the light is mounted to the bottom of. But if this was mounted like in a wall, like you might mount a pachinko machine, and you were behind the wall, you could open this, fill it back up, and you could also on the back here, there's also a door down here that you can get to the inside with. So maybe you could open it from the back as well and remove the quarters and things like that. So it could just be that it's a machine made to mount in the wall like they do pachinko machines. So I'm not positive, but that would be my guess if I was just going to guess. But it's a cool little machine. It's purple. It's a little faded here. The reason we got this was because a gentleman traded it in on another crane that we had. Because he had broken this one, so he dropped it off of his truck moving it, and I don't know if that damage was caused by dropping it off the truck, but it had broken one of the side pieces of glass. We had a new piece of plexiglass, thick plexiglass cut to replace it and fix that up. And then we don't have any clue as to the settings of it. I'll show you the inside, just how it was designed. Now originally there was a lock here in the front that locked into this here, but all of that's missing. There must have been some kind of sleeve. If we could install a lock, but if we did, it would be really easy to break. So we left the hasp on it that somebody had installed on the side. It would be more secure that way anyway. But here inside of it, this is the coin box. So there's a couple quarters in there, and this is the the PCB board. They still make these PCB boards. It's kind of like a cheap Chinese board that you can put in newer cranes, older cranes, and rewire, put new motors in, etc., etc. So, but I think what happened was, I think this board was designed several years ago, and I think the same company that creates that board likely created a lot of these little cheap little crane machines, just as a cheap machine that they could put that they would be able to sell and export and whatever, along with selling the boards. So over here you've got a little chicken mini, and on the back of the door you've got a little speaker, and you've got an electronic coin mech. That was actually bad whenever we bought it. We ordered another one, replaced it, got it where it's accepting quarters as it should. And then here you have a lot of dip switches that will change the settings of the game. We don't have a manual, so we kind of by trial and error figured out what some of them do. So we got it set on a quarter. It was set on, I think, $1 before. And then we figured out what each of these little pots do. They basically control the power to the motors. So one of them changes how fast the machine moves forward and back whenever you hit the button. This is a button machine. It doesn't have a joystick installed. So one of them controls how fast the motor moves back and forth, and one controls how fast the motor moves left and right. One of them controls how fast the motor moves down, right? One of them controls how hard the claw grabs. Everybody's always curious about that one. And one of them is some of these machines, and this is going to piss off a bunch of people, but if you don't know it, but some of these machines, they have two settings for the claw. One is when the claw goes down, it grabs at a certain strength, and this meter shows you the strength that you can adjust it at. And then whenever it gets back up to the top, it loosens it. It changes from the one setting to the second setting. So you can make it where it grabs strong, but once it gets up to the top, it's weak, so it drops the thing. Tricky. And of course, you could probably set it all up to where you only win ever so often, blah, blah, blah. Now, whenever we get little crane games like this, usually we're going to sell them to somebody for their house. People just buy them to put in their game room because they're kind of fun. This one isn't very expensive. So what we usually do is we turn that damn claw up so it's easy to win. If you're going to put it in your house, you don't want to be frustrated by not being able to pick up any of the little toys, so we turn it up. Now on this one, it's got a little bit of a limitation. The claw is kind of small, and it's got this little tube that it drops things down through. Well, that tube is only about 5.5 inches, something like that, right? So you can't really put even small stuffed animals in it because they might get stuck on the top of the tube. So it says treasure box by Treasure Chest, so I think it was probably originally designed as like a jewelry crane. If you've seen those in some locations, you can pick up like necklaces and little ring boxes and stuff like that they'll put in there carefully, you know. And maybe it was designed for that, but I never really liked the jewelry crane. So what we did was we ordered a bunch of these little spiky balls, which the kids kind of like. Now this would be for little kids, you know. And we filled it up with that. They're like 3 inches or something like that. So this claw is able to grab them really easy. And whenever they fall down the tube, of course, they go down the tube without getting stuck. So that's kind of what we did with it. Now, one of the most interesting things about this damn machine, we can't turn off the attract music. So attract music is it plays a song while it's just sitting there, right? So it plays 2 songs. It plays one song while it's just sitting there. It's playing it right now, but I've got it turned down, right? It plays one song while it's just sitting here trying to attract you to put quarters in it, which I can't figure out what the name of the song is. I tried downloading an app where it would identify it. So hopefully somebody watching this can leave in the comments below what the heck the name of this song is that it's playing. It sounds like maybe an old Russian classical song. I don't know. Let me know below. And then the song that it plays whenever you actually credit it up is a little more famous. So I'll let you hear that in a second. But it's just amazing to me how they'll just appropriate whatever music they want. Again, I guess copyright laws are lax, right? So that part's kind of funny. So I'm going to turn the music up so you can hear what it's doing. It's kind of funny. Oh, I'll show you this bass as well. So this bass is just a little cabinet that you can store like extra stuff in, and it makes the machine a little taller. There are little thumb screws underneath it that go up into the cabinet to hold it to the base. You can actually take those off by hand. You don't even need tools or anything. So it's just an interesting little machine that we'd never seen before. It says 50 cents, but we've actually got it set on a quarter. So I'll turn it up a little bit. A little scratchy. What is that song? I've heard it. I just don't know the name of it. So anyway, I'm gonna turn off the lights because it'd be cooler in the dark. We'll walk back this way a little bit. Let's see, we got a bunch of stuff we're messing around with tonight. Focus. So it's just a strange little machine, you know. All right, so I'm gonna credit it up, and check out the song that it plays whenever you put a credit in it. Can you believe that? So if you don't know, that's the Hawaii 5-0 theme song. So we'll try to catch a ball. Oh, I got robbed, people. It was shaking too much. Let's try another one. Boom, 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 boom. See if we get it this time. All right, so we got our little ball. And it has a neat little glass door on the front that's slightly curved. Kind of neat. And that's that, folks. So I just thought we'd show this off a little bit. If anybody has any information about these or knows anything about it or can tell me what that first song is, please leave a comment below and thumbs up the video, even if you hate crane machines, because isn't this at least worth watching? Why'd you watch the video if you didn't enjoy it? Thumbs up the video, leave a comment below, and if you're interested in arcade games like this, we've got a business where we sell these. So you can check out all of the games that we have in right now on lionsarcade.com. That's a police trainer that we've been messing with lately. Go to lionsarcade.com. You can see all the games that we have available right now. If you're near us, you can come by and check out the... Let me turn this down. You can come by and check out what we've got in our shop here. Right now we've got about 35 games for sale. Lots of goodies. We get cranes and stuff like that every once in a while, not too often, but we get a lot of arcade games and a few pinball machines, even a few jukeboxes from time to time. We've got a Frogger here. So check out our website or stop by and see us. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 minutes south of Charlotte, North Carolina, right? Now, if you can't come by because you're nowhere near us, that's fine. And if you're not going to buy one because you're nowhere near us and you'd have to have it shipped all the way across the country and it costs a fortune, that's fine. We understand. Just subscribe to us here on YouTube. And whenever we get cool little games and interesting things like this, we'll film a little video and show it off a little bit just to show people what it's like. We found that people really kind of like seeing this kind of freakish stuff and some of the classics like Police Trainer or Frogger. So leave a comment below, subscribe to us on YouTube, and we will see you on the next video.